The president delivered his first State of the Union address of his second term last night, and as you can imagine, mixed reaction to his hour-long speech. Lots of talk about it this morning. And joining us live from the nation's capital with his reaction is Oregon Congressman Kurt Schrader. Congressman, good morning to you. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Thanks, Chad. My pleasure.
So let's get right to it. One of the main themes the president talked about last night was gun control, a very poignant moment when he repeated that various gun victims should get a vote on gun control. Why hasn't a vote happened yet?
Well, we've barely gotten started in this Congress. The task force that we have on the House side is just now, actually just this past week, given its recommendations, and so hopefully go through regular order. It'd be a pleasant change, a bipartisan approach like No Labels likes to have, and talk about this in the open, a little transparency, and see if we can't come up with some good solutions to hopefully stop these tragedies, or at least minimize the tragedies that are occurring out there.
Do you feel confident a vote will happen?
I have no idea. This is Congress, for goodness sakes. I was really pleased the president called out the bipartisan work we've been doing on the budget. He spent most of his time and opened up his whole speech with trying to get our economy going by putting that certainty in there, making the investments that business wants us to do so we can create some jobs around here. I thought that was huge, and he called out the bipartisan Simpson-Bowles approach to the whole process. No Labels is interested in this, and again, that's the whole bipartisan approach. I'm amazed he's still actually, playing with the bipartisan attitude towards things. It's so critical around here to have that.
Immediately afterward, Senator Marco Rubio basically said that that is not happening. So from your approach, you're working with No Labels, a group of bipartisan lawmakers trying to get some things done. What's your vision? Are bipartisan practices happening right now?
They are. I mean, if you look at January, it's amazing. I'm actually a little shell-shocked myself. In 1 month, we passed 3 major pieces of legislation in a bipartisan way. We had the fiscal cliff deal. We got a lot of aid to the victims of Hurricane Sandy. And we actually did the no budget, no pay debt ceiling thing. That was a No Labels priority. If you go to nolabels.org, you'll see our priorities on there for bipartisan work here in the Congress. So I'd really urge everyone to take a look. It's a new way of thinking about things. It's gaining some juice. And again, the president himself called it out.
You wrote last night that the president laid a broad framework for long-term, long-lasting economic prosperity, and only by working together with colleagues on both sides of the aisles can things really get done. So as you just mentioned, we're in the early stages of this Congress. What kind of certainty can you give us that as things wrap up, say here at the end of the year, that we will be having some answers to many of the questions the president talked about last night and that really the general public has?
Well, I think the American public's fed up. When I first came to Congress, so a little over 4.5 years ago, we were in these partisan warring camps. And to some extent, unfortunately, with horrible redistricting, gerrymandering that goes on in this country, those camps have gotten worse. But what it has led to is folks like me and Republican and Democratic colleagues of mine to go to trying to find a common ground area. And frankly, the area we found is No Labels. No Labels is the only organization, only opportunity we have to sit and break bread together, talk together as Republicans and Democrats. Frankly, as House members and Senate members, we don't get to see our senators that often either. So that's really, really important. We need America to get behind this effort, too. The president mentioned things last night that I was surprised he did after his inconclusive and tough negotiations with Speaker Boehner this past year. So I think he's hearing the buzz coming from nolabels.org and groups like us in Congress that are trying to get out there and make sure we work the way the American people want us to work. Otherwise, they're going to be turning us out, as is their right, at the very next election cycle.
Representative Kurt Schrader, we certainly appreciate your time. We could talk to you for a lot longer, but I understand we have to let you go for the next person to step in and take your spot. So, Congressman, thank you very much. We appreciate the live interview this morning.